Hello, hello, hello.
Hello and welcome to BWAC, Brain Injury Water for the podcast, episode number
13 you said, didn't
30.
you? 13.
13.
Of course, I knew that.
And this week we've had a question and we thought we would answer it.
Yeah, so it's kind of a continuation of last week, but a more rounded. No. We can try and answer the question, basically.
Yeah, well, it's a more personal perspective, I guess. I don't know, really.
Yeah.
So our number one fan, Graham, asked what it was like for Bob meeting him again after 50 years. And so that's the question that we're going to explore. Should we recap on what we talked about last week?
Yeah, briefly.
Just to bring it back into
if you can remember it.
So last week we talked about how it felt when people were communicating with you and how you felt about, having time to process information and things like that, and what you found difficult.
Yes.
And what you found more easier.
Yes.
Easier. So we thought it was a really good question because one thing I'd noticed was that you speak about past events probably more often than you used to, for sure.
Quite readily.
And yeah, that's kind of like a go-to response sometimes in things. It's like you can relate it back to past events, isn't it? So just in case people didn't know, Bob was in the Royal Navy for
15 and a half years.
And when he was a little boy, child in the Navy.
I joined when I was 15.
And you were stationed with Graham on...
my second ship.
Which was?
HMS Whitby. My first ship was HMS Dido.
And then?
My third ship was HMS Beechamp.
Okay. So how long did you and Graham serve together, do you remember?
It'll be 18 months to 2 years. Okay. More or less. But we lived in the same mess deck, which it's not very big.
Yeah.
I suppose about the size of the average living room, obviously. Yeah, not one of these new boxy houses, but the traditional house about the size of a living room. And there's around 30 of us. Yeah, in hammocks.
Yeah. But interestingly, you don't really remember
anybody else. I don't remember their names, and I don't remember their faces. And it's only Graham that's shown through like a little beacon to my past.
Which leads me to believe there must have been several shenanigans going on.
Oh, there was lots of good run ashores. There was. But we didn't even share the same watches or, the watch keeping. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
But you're going to reveal all then?
Well, no, I'm not going to reveal all, but there was some interesting things. So I asked my mate ChatGPT why it might be that you remember, because obviously the memory, you haven't got memory issues as such, like somebody with dementia who can't form new memories, but you have a weird filing system, don't you?
Yeah.
And so I asked ChatGPT what the brain, what might be going on in the brain. So bearing in mind that your strokes are in the pons and the thalamus areas of the brain, which is the brain stem.
They're more or less in the middle.
It says the communication network and attention gateways are affected. So the pons helps to regulate alertness, sleep and coordination, which is why you kept falling over.
Yeah.
And the fatigue and the sleep pattern that you have.
Yes.
That is explained by that area being
attention.
Alertness.
Yes,
yeah.
That's another one.
And then the thalamus acts like an air traffic controller for sensory input and memory. So it decides what gets passed to higher processing areas in the brain. And that's kind of the important bit
in
this, I think. So it says new information can be hard to store or link to any context because the traffic lights that are in the brain that's passing the information to higher processing is slower.
And by the time it switches to green, it's lost.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And then old memories from all those years ago are well consolidated. They live in long-term storage areas like the hippocampus and cortex. So this is a sciencey bit. But they have strong emotional or sensory connections, especially if they were formative experiences. So Navy life, shared routines, smells, sounds, experiences, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So that's why that would be important. So it's not that you can't make new memories. It's just that the older memories are like beacons, as you said.
Yes.
Graham shone through like a beacon.
Yes.
So
can I just warn Graham not to let this go to his head? Yes. Becoming wearing a torch on his head, wouldn't
he? He will. Yeah. Like a miner's helmet.
He was a miner after a Navy.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
That's probably why then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the brain's always about looking for things that is easy, and so it'll take the easy, shiny road rather than the little dirt track that the new memories are trying to be formed.
Never mind for it being easy for the brain, I need it to be easy for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's basically the sort of sciencey bit between that. Yeah. So, but how did it feel for you then when, you know, old things are very easy, but new things take a lot of effort? How does it sort of feel? Is that how it feels to you?
It's I think it causes more confusion in my head than anything, because I often find I'm trying to work out what's happening. You know, I'm being distracted.
Sorry, it's the dog. Yeah, I know.
Where was I? Been distracted. Yeah. And I don't kind of worry about it. I don't find myself getting agitated or concerned. It's just a little bit of confusion about it, which again helps with the fact that I don't meet too many new people, or I try not to.
Yeah.
You know, which is probably, as it would appear, becoming more of a defensive mechanism than anything else.
Yeah, because I was going to ask about that. Do you think there's a bit of avoidance then in that case?
Yeah, and as you always say, I'm a blagger, and so I can wriggle my way through it.
Yeah.
Without really know what's happening.
Yeah, and you will quite often use, you know, your old memories to explain things as well, won't you? Like stories from the Navy.
Yeah.
So obviously, like any ex-serviceman, you have always sort of had stories and things to tell, but since you had the strokes, that's been far more prevalent.
Yeah, but I know I realise how I feel. In lots of ways, they seem to lack detail when I'm thinking of it. And what I mean by is, before the picture was clear picture of the Navy and my time in the Navy, but now the memories are a bit hazy. So, and as I found through my chats with Graham, I don't always get the facts right, or he doesn't. One of us doesn't, and I think it's likely to be me.
He could tell you most things, and you wouldn't know whether it was true or not. Really,
exactly. Yeah. Well, he keeps saying this called me rubber ball. Apparently, I don't remember it. He says you were fat. I said, I've got photographs off the gangway showing when I was on 80 Miss Whippy. That was not a little fatty. So that's his memory.
I've never heard him say that.
Play,
Mind you, I normally don't know, to be honest.
Keeps bringing it up. I don't know. He's probably jealous of my physique. That's what it was. And the good thing is, Graham, you can't argue.
Not this week.
Not this week.
Not this week. So, did you feel like when obviously you got in touch with each other through the group on Facebook, didn't you? Reconnected there.
Yeah.
How did it make you feel when you were going to meet up? Did you feel like that sense of, I don't know, that not nervousness when you know you're going to meet new people, for instance? You might feel a bit anxious about that. Did you feel different about reconnecting with Graham?
Really, I think the one thing I learned in the Navy was you could drop off the map and appear a year later to somebody, and you just try to pick up where you left off. Because it was in the Navy, it's like your conversations with people, they don't come to an end. They're left unended. And I kind of knew that we might both look different, but otherwise we'd just carry on as we did, and that actually proved to be the case.
Yeah, you felt comfortable.
There was no difficulty in interacting with him, and yeah. I mean, I don't know what I was going to say. No, you'll have to take over.
I was just going to say, I remember you telling me, like in the Navy, individuals would get moved from ship to ship or moved from one place to another.
Yeah.
Whereas, like in the Army and Air Force, they tend to go in groups, don't they?
Yeah.
And I remember you saying to me before that you didn't forge friendships like that. That you'd be with somebody for a long, long time. But obviously there was a connection there. I mean,
like Graham and I, we were friends, we were really good mates on Whitby. And when we meet up, we're really good mates. But I don't, he might see different, but I've never had the kind of attachments where I worry about or think about people I no longer see.
Yeah.
I see them, we get on great, and then they go again.
Yeah.
They come back.
Because you've never been. Sense. Yeah, it makes sense to me, especially because you've never been that kind of. I want to go like my mum and dad had their my mum had a Thursday night darts, my dad had his Sunday night snooker. That kind of. You've never been that way inclined with having regular
or a regular pub
you can join social groups and be sociable and enjoy a party or whatever. But
I also find with groups, I very quickly, I don't know how to explain it. I don't grow tired of them, right? I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
A couple of sessions, I think, it's not for me.
Yeah. And especially since your stroke, though, that's much more difficult for you anyway, isn't it?
It is, I used to say you could parachute me in anywhere and I'll be okay. But now, I don't want to go to anywhere. That's the best way to say it.
I think this podcast has been useful in identifying things for us because
I think we've both learned a lot.
Yeah, because we both have our routine. So your routines, you like to run on rails, and by default, then I've got routines as well.
Yeah.
And when you change your routine, it throws me off. If there's something that you want to do that's different, it really throws me off because I've planned like the month ahead around the routines. And if I want to change something, I have to. I don't know if I do have to, but I do. Always put your routines first and work out how we're going to do things around that.
I think if I get enough warning, I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's the sudden.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, excuse me sniffling, I've got a runny nose, so I keep damming it with a hanky.
So a couple of things that ChatGPT had said as well, which I thought was quite interesting, was, obviously the speech therapist had said to you about your filing cabinet being messed up.
Yeah.
And Chatty says it's not that the memories are gone, they're just filed in different drawers. And some drawers have shinier handles than others, so it's like you can just pick those out easier.
Probably the ones that I use most.
Yeah. And then for you specifically, the thalamus is like the brain's dormant. It says after a stroke, it gets picky about who it lets in, and old memories are first on the guest list.
There you go, Graham.
Yeah. So
you're on the VIP list.
That's interesting.
Remember Joanna's, the disco, the only disco in Portsmouth actually, as it was. They're dormant. And they used to let us in.
And they used to let you in. They couldn't have been that fussy.
No.
Yeah. Funny. Yeah. So old Navy stories are like well-oiled gears, Chatty says.
Yeah.
And that's also fitting.
And I think as well, it's because they've been related, whatever it is, so often to so many people and thought about. And, you know, that's why they're so easily accessible. Yeah.
And a useful suggestion that you come up with, building onto that, is that if you want to help to link new info, link it to old stories if you can. So if you're trying to learn something new, the suggestion is that you try and link it to something that you already know from the past. So that'll be something interesting to explore.
I think,
But having said that, something from the 70s probably is a bit worn out by now to today's technology and stuff that wasn't available.
You mean like me still wearing, what do we call them? White trousers?
Flares.
Yeah. I don't, by the way.
No. Yeah.
I hear what you saying, but I don't comprehend it at the minute.
Might be interesting to
have a look at. It needs more
I think it's
substance.
A little bit. So something that's just popped into my mind is that you told me that you had to map out the pipes on the ship, didn't you? Was it pipes or was
you had to trace out but every pipe and valve in the boiler room.
Yeah.
That was your first job, and when you got, I think Graham was engine rooms, and he would have had to do the same.
Yeah.
I got the worst. There was a lot more down the boiler room.
So maybe when we're doing jobs or I want you to do a new task, I could say we need to map out the pipe work first before and work out the stages of that, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, maybe that would work. Just, thinking if anybody else is listening there thinking what they can do to help a loved one. Like maybe it might not be relevant.
I had a thought last night, a bit, which is kind of totally unrelated to what we're talking about today, but it relates to the stroke thing. I think every brain injury stroke is entirely unique. But my story is my story. And you're part of that story. And it won't be like anybody else's. But there'll be lots of things that we've talked about and said that will relate to them.
Yeah.
So don't dismiss anything that's said because it may prove useful to you.
And it might just trigger a thought, well, actually that's not relevant to their story, but it might trigger something that could be relevant to their story, kind of thing. And we were talking about neuroplasticity, weren't we? About when you learn something new, you've got to repeat it however many times.
Like 26 or something.
I think it might even be more than that. But to build the new brain pathway. But also thinking it's not going to necessarily build it in a straight line from A to B. And I got the image like a spaghetti junction. it's building it, but it's who knows where it's going, but it'll get there in the end.
It's going to fight its way through.
Yeah, and it's like worth persevering, because once it's there, then it's set, you know, and it makes it's easier, doesn't it? Then
it's like Brunel being told to build a bridge. He's not told where, when, which country, if it's over a river or is it anything. He's just told, go and build a bridge. He has to work it out.
Yeah.
That was good.
Was it?
Good.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
Well, I thought it was good. You're laughing at me again. You've got to have an excuse to laugh.
I don't need an excuse to laugh. I tell you, if you can't laugh, you're lost.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which ties in with a positive attitude. Yes.
Yeah, and we know that life's life, and some days aren't great, but there's still days that you're here.
Yeah.
And as I say to people, our track record of surviving everything that life's thrown at us so far is 100%. So we just keep going.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, is there anything else that comes to mind when you're thinking about sort of, because oh, go on.
It was just about reiterating the last thing, really, that there is a huge difference between talking to Graham and talking to other people, first people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like sailing club in Conway. I've never been there, but Shetwilly was there, and all my time there, I'd never actually caught up with him and he was actually there in Conway, was he, doing a show at the sailing club. And I didn't know anybody, but they were all a mixture of ex-Navy and that. And it was like on home, it was a bit...
That was before your strokes, though, as well. Yeah.
I was bad-eyed, didn't I? The bad-eye.
You have an eye patch on.
Anyway, it was the same thing. You see, that's context. I can't...
Yeah.
I don't always... I might get the facts right, but I don't always get the context of what and when and where.
You were greeted like an old friend, because I'd contacted the person and said, "You Shetwilly on, and can we get tickets?" Blah blah blah. And we had sort of had a chat, and I'd said about you being in the Navy, and you walked in there. You were like the
royalty,
the starter.
I was up there with Shetwilly.
And they said, "We've saved you a seat right at the front."
Yeah.
Put you in the corner, and then we had something to eat with them. And it was good.
Drinking, and Shetwilly came over.
And it was a really nice night. In fact, that was probably the warmest welcome we've had
from the public
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember it, and I got my photograph with him.
Yeah. We'll have to dig that out.
Yeah.
Put that on the video at some point.
Yes.
That was a good night. But that was before your stroke.
Yeah. But interesting you say that I can't date it.
No.
It could have happened last week. It could have happened 5 years ago. But it all shares the same space with.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem with new people. They're trying to share the now with the then.
Yeah.
I think, and there is no real crossover to latch onto. That's how I see it. Because
when we form memories, I think it's emotion.
Yeah.
We recall fond memories.
Yeah.
Much better than we recall negative, even things that have negatively happened in the past. You can kind of recall fondly in a way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, do you remember when that happened? You can't feel the negative so much.
Yeah.
But we always tend to remember the fond things.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I don't remember whether I was on Dido or on Whitby, but I'd been out ashore in Portsmouth with this fella called James Larson.
I don't remember.
I remember that. I remember what he looked like as well. He had a skinhead. And we were going back to the ship, and I was in front. And he jumped on me and started smashing my head against the pavement. Anyway, I woke up in hospital with head injuries. But I remember he said, I'm sorry. I don't know what it was about or why it happened, but I know he went to detention. He was kicked out straight away. But when I think about him, I don't remember that bit. I remember that we had runs ashore and that we went to Tiger Balm Gardens in Singapore, and it's like the fondness bit,
Yeah.
not the horrible bit, which is good. I think that's your brain's way of dealing with things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Storing more positive memories rather than more negative ones. Yeah.
Mm.
And that kind of explains why new memories are more difficult, because if you're not in a situation where you're feeling relaxed, comfortable, happy to be there, which you're not because
I'm usually anxious.
Yeah. Then it's going to be harder to lay down that new track.
Your brain, because you're already fighting against your brain wanting to keep it.
Yeah. So that's interesting as well, isn't it? Yeah. So good.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
just checking on the tablet.
I'm just having a quick look, see if there's anything else we need to cover. So,
no. Yes.
Yeah, no, actually, Chatty says, me mate Chatty GPT, says, so if you're supporting someone after a stroke or just trying to understand how it feels, patience and laughter can go a long way because it's helping to relax things, And it says, meet them where their memories live and help them add a few new postcards to the journey. So that's quite nice as well.
Oh, we do that, don't we?
Yeah. We try, don't we?
We do.
We try. Yeah. Okie dokie. So.
Right, we're going to talk about...
Oh, yes. So we did come back this week. Next week we are having a in-person meeting with somebody special.
Yes. Graham. We thought about miking him. Miking him up.
Yeah.
Where we have our meal and have a three-way conversation in a noisy environment.
Noisier environment, yeah.
To see...
to see if it works, if we can make it work, and just
see what happens.
Yeah, basically, just see how you are.
And see if we can get Graham to talk rather than just grunt. Yeah.
But of course, we haven't asked him yet, so we'll see.
Take this as an invite.
If that does occur, then the podcast won't be released on the Sunday anyway, because we'll need to probably do some editing or something, and I haven't got a clue what I'm doing with that, so we'll just have a look at that.
Got it on the computer.
Yeah. And then we're going to take a break.
Because we've got work on the roof.
We've got some work on the house being done, and that's going to be done the week of the 3rd of November as far as it stands at the minute. So we will come back after that with series 2.
Yes.
And we might even look at doing some videos.
We'll use
the planning.
We'll try and use the time productive.
We haven't built the new pathways yet, have we? Towards that, we're still a bit stressed.
We're still
trying to work it out.
Groping around in the dark.
Yeah. Yes. So we hope that sort of explained a bit about old memories and the question that we were asked, and we hope that you found it useful as ever.
Yes.
We will be back.
Yes.
Episode 14 may or may not occur. If not, that's one for next week we may or may not do. Yeah. If not, we will be back in November.
Beginning.
As ever, if you want to email, it's bwacpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. I was... Oh, no. bwac.com. I've lost it. What's...
bwacpodcast@gmail.com is the email.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I said I was going to throw you a goodbye in different language this week.
Oh, you were?
But I don't know where I put my list.
Bob's going to become multilingual with
Yeah.
goodbyes only, though.
Yeah,
I think.
goodbyes.
Maybe do hellos and goodbyes.
So in some countries they're the same.
That's
I found that out.
Mind you, when we went to France.
Oh, yeah. Into the bar.
Into the, yeah.
Supposed to say, what is it?
You were supposed to say either merci for thank you or au revoir. I think we were going and we said au revoir and you said something different. You said bonjour or something.
No, we went in, it's supposed to say bonjour, and I said au revoir.
Oh, there we are. I can't remember. Yeah. I do remember it being funny though, and everybody laughed.
Yeah.
But there we are.
Yeah. Right.
On that note, we'll let you go.
Goodbye to you all. Hope you have a nice rest of the day.
And we'll see you soonish.
Yes.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.